Hello and welcome to the lecture. In this lecture, the topic that is going to be covered is Modern History SSC PYQs Part 3. Before starting of the lecture, there is a small disclaimer that we are required to understand before we proceed further. The disclaimer goes like, the images, text and other materials used in our presentations are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners. If you are the owner and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the same. The question is, which one is the correct chronological order of the following events? Options are Quit India Movement, Shimla Conference, Pune Pact, Cabinet Mission. Options are second, fourth, first, third, fourth, second, first, third, first, second, fourth, second, third, first. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is C. Third, first, second, and fourth. Solution. The Pune Pact was signed on 24th September 1932. Quit India Movement on 8th August 1942. Shimla Conference on June 1945. Cabinet Mission on 23rd March 1946. The Pune Pact was signed between B.R. Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi. That was signed in accordance to give 18% reservation to the depressed class in the Central Legislative Assembly. And that was higher than the MacDonald Award, which was announced by the British Prime Minister MacDonald to give the separate electorate to the depressed class. The Quit India movement was launched in 1942 against the Britishers when the World War II was going on. The World War II was going on from 1939 to 1945. The Shimla Conference was conducted in 1945 to bring the Muslim League, Hindu Mahasabha and Indian National Congress together in order to decide the Constitutional Assembly and get a peace with the India. Cabinet mission was sent in 1946 that eventually led to the establishment of Constituent Assembly, which later became responsible in order to draft the Indian Constitution. In 1970, which movement was launched by Mahatma Gandhi from Champaran? Options are Satyagrah, Non-Cooperation Movement, Quit India Movement, Savdeshi Movement. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. The time's up. Correct answer is A. Satyagrah. Solution. The Champaran Satyagrah of 1917 was Mahatma Gandhi's first Satyagrah. So basically during that time, Mahatma Gandhi just returned to India from the South Africa. After returning India, he was approached by Rajkumar Shukla. He was the farmer from Champaran, Bihar. He asked Mahatma Gandhi to launch a satyagraha or a silent protest against the atrocities of Britishers on the farmers of the Champaran. Consequently, the court during the British rule passed the orders which make the British officials to pay the adequate lump sum of the amount to the farmers and also granted the other liberties to the farmers who were the producer of the demanded crop of that time. So that was the first satyagraha he ever did. And after that time, the first public appearance of Mahatma Gandhi. Remember, during that time, the Champaran Satyagraha, his movement is primarily concentrated in the Champaran. But once he was invited to give a lecture in Banaras Hindu University, or BHU in short, where he had made his first public appearance. So the first public appearance of Mahatma Gandhi designated to the lecture at Banaras Hindu University, and the first satyagraha was at Champaran. Next question is, who among the following was the successor of Sikh Guru Har Krishna? Options are Guru Angad Dev, Guru Tegh Bahadur, Guru Har Gobind, Guru Amar Das. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. Correct answer is B. Guru Tegh Bahadur. Solution. The sequence of Sikh Gurus are Guru Nanak, Guru Angad, Guru Amar Das, Guru Ram Das, Guru Arjan, Guru Har Gobind, Guru Har Rai, Guru Har Krishnan, Guru Tegh Bahadur, and then Guru Gobind Singh. Guru Gobind Singh also attributed for establishment of Khalsa Panth, which is the armed segment of Sikh religion. Next question is, Lord Cornwallis is known for, options are permanent revenue settlement of Bengal, attacking the caste system, land revenue settlement of United States, Rayotwadi settlement of Madras. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is A. Permanent settlement, or you can say permanent revenue settlement of Bengal. Solution. The permanent settlement, also known as the permanent settlement of Bengal, was introduced by Lord Cornwallis in 1793. So what was actually the permanent settlement? In order to understand this, we have to understand this pyramid chain. At first, the British EIC, East India Company, then the Zamindars, and then the peasants. So basically, after the Battle of Buxar in 1764, when the Britishers got the rights to collect the revenue from Bengal, Bihar, and Odisha after defeating the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. Basically, the Britishers followed the same path as the Mughals. It means they put zamindars as a mediocre in order to collect the taxes from the peasant. How does system work? For example, the zamindar who had 400 villages under him, the entire land belonged to the zamindar. It means the zamindar is the owner of the land. And now the peasants are the workers who are working on the land of the zamindar. So the British East India Company will collect the rent from the zamindar, and zamindar will collect the rent or the tax from the peasant. And why it is known as the permanent? Because that was fixed. That means out of 100%, 11% could be kept by the landlords, and the remaining 89% will be given to the Britishers. And that is fixed. If the zamindar had acquired the 100 rupees, 11 rupees will be kept by him, and the 88 rupees will be sent, 89 rupees will be sent to the Britishers. Eventually, the system got failed. Why? Because first, the peasants were facing the higher tax rates. For example, if during the Mughal rule the tax was 80 rupees, just for example, the Britishers had made it 160. That means it was almost double. Second issue that was faced by the zamindar, that was the collection of the land tax, which means if the 400 villages could give rupees 1 lakh as a tax, so the Britishers has fixed 89,000 as a tax amount that is to be sent to the East India Company. Now the zamindars became liable to collect this amount. Doesn't matter whether the crops were able to generate it or not. Now, the problem with the British East India Company. First, the continuous failure of the zamindars in order to collect the rent and pay to the British East India Company made it obvious to change the pattern. And second thing is that the prices of the agriculture produce were on the continuous rise. That made the income of the zamindars were rising. But the British East India Company was facing a difficulty because the amount has been already fixed. So they will continuously receive 89,000, doesn't matter whatever the amount collected by the zamindars. And finally, the sunset law. What was the sunset law? If any zamindar is failed to give the rent to the British East India Company on the date which is decided. For example, if 4 August is a date that is decided on which the zamindar is required to pay the taxes to the British East India Company, and up to 4 p.m. on 4 August, the zamindar is unable to give the rent or the tax to the East India Company, then the company will auction his zamindari or his property. So this sunset law was attributed to the permanent settlement of Bengal. And remember, that was introduced by whom? Lord Cornwallis. Thereafter, the next question is, the first satyagraha started from Champaran for opposing the cultivation of dash. Options are cotton, indigo, silk, kesar. In order to give right answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is B, indigo. Solution. The Champaran Satyagraha of 1917 was a movement inspired by the Mohandas Gandhi and a major revolt for opposing the cultivation of indigo. So basically the indigo that was in Hindi known as the Neel. So that was the cash crop and it was highly demanded in the England. Like after the second round of industrial revolution, the England had developed a significant portion in the textile industries. And the famous areas were Manchester, Lancashire, and other areas. These were the highest concentrated areas of the textile industries. Now, these textile industries required meal as the raw material, which will be used to convert it into the dye, and that dye will be used to color the textile products. Okay, but the problem with the indigo is that first, the income generation, third, fertility of soil, and third was the restrictions on other crops. So these were the three main reasons why that was the opposing movement. First, the British companies paying the less amount to the farmers. That means suppose if 1 kg of indigo amounts rupees 100, so the Britishers only paying rupees 60. So that means the farmers were getting a very low price against their crops. Even they were not able to recover the cost of production occurred while growing the indigo. Second, the fertility of soil. Basically, the indigo crop is well known for reducing the fertility of the soil. So if the farmer continuously grows the indigo on his land, then the fertility will be reduced and the farmer would not be able to grow any other crop. So that was the issue. The third is the restriction on other crops. The Britishers ensured a sufficient and the continuous supply of indigo. So that's why they made the farmers to grow only indigo. The farmers were not allowed to grow any other crops. So these were the issues that the farmer were facing when Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi had launched a Champaran Satyagraha against these things. Next question is, when India got independence, who was the Prime Minister of England? Options are William Bentinck, Warren Hastings, Margaret Thatcher, Clement Attlee. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is D. Clement Attlee. Solution. Clement Attlee was the Prime Minister of England when India got independence. So basically the Clement Attlee was belonged to the Labour Party. And when he got the Prime Ministership of England, the first thing he declared is that they are going to liberate the India. After the World War, second, the Britishers suffered a heavy losses and they were unable to holding their colonies for a long. And because India was the huge colony, so they were running out of the funds in order to run the country. Secondly, the Indian national movements during the Second World War had contributed to create a picture in the mind of Britishers that they are unable to hold India for long, especially the events like formation of Indian National Army, and second is the Indian Navy mutiny. These two events even challenged the armed establishment of the Britishers. So that's how the Britishers finally liberate India in 1947. Now the question is, who convened the Congress of Vienna in 1850? Options are Bismarck, Mussolini, Metternich, Napoleon Bonaparte. 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is C. Metternich. Solution. Clemens von Metternich convened the Congress of Vienna in 1850. Next question is, who among the following was the first president of Pakistan? Options are Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, Yahya Khan, Iskandar Mirza, Ayub Khan. 10 seconds are there to answer. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is C. Iskandar Mirza. Solution. Iskandar Ali Mirza was a Bengali bureaucrat and Pakistani Army Major General who served as the first president of Pakistan. On 12 September 1956, he established and became a vice president of the Republican Party that was in direct conflict with the Muslim League, mainly due to the disagreement on the idea of republicanism and conservatism. Next question is, Mahatma Gandhi formed the Natal Indian Congress in the year of, options are 1874, 1894, 1854, 1863. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is B. 1894. Solution. The Natal Indian Congress was established in 1894 by Mahatma Gandhi to fight discrimination against the Indian traders in the Natal. The NIC was the first of the Indian Congresses to be formed. Gandhi was the honorary secretary and Abdullah Haji Adam Jhaveri, Dada Abdullah, was elected president of that. Next question is, the first Anglo-Burmese war ended with the signing of the, options are Treaty of Yandabo, Treaty of Titalia, Treaty of Purandar, Treaty of Salabai. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is A. Treaty of Yandabo. Solution. The Treaty of Yandabo brought peace between the East India Company and the King of Ava that ended the First Anglo-Burmese War. The agreement was signed on February 24, 1826, that ended the First Anglo-Burmese War. Next question is, the Bangladesh Liberation War ended on, options are 14th November 1972, 16th December 1971, 17th October 1971, 2nd October 1974. To answer this, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is B. 16 December 1971. Solution. The Bangladesh Liberation War was a revolution and armed conflict sparked by the rise of the Bengali nationalist and self-determination movement in what was then East Pakistan during the 1971 Bangladesh genocide. It resulted in the independence of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. So basically, when the 1947 was the year, so India got divided into the two new nations. First nation is India. Second nation was Pakistan. The Pakistan was further divided into the two areas. The West Pakistan and the East Pakistan. The West Pakistan is the current day Pakistan, while the East Pakistan is now known as the Bangladesh. So during the time of the Lord Mountbatten, when Lord Mountbatten was the viceroy of the country, okay, so he divided India into the two parts by dividing the eastern portion and the western portion. The western portion became the West Pakistan, eastern portion became the East Pakistan, and the rest became the dominion of India or the country of India. Now, the West Pakistan is having the Punjabi speaking and Sindhi speaking population. And the ethnicity of the West Pakistan is totally different from the East Pakistan. The East Pakistan were mainly the people of Bengali ethnicity. So there was a conflict arises between the differences of these. And during that time, the Mukti Vahini Sena, that was the militant group formed within the East Pakistan against the atrocities of the government of Pakistan. And the leader of this conflict was Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. And against this entire revolutionary movement, the Pakistani military launched the Operation Searchlight, in which they killed many Bangladeshis or the people of East Pakistani or Bengali speaking people of East Pakistan. And then the people started migrating to the India, and finally India had to declare a war over the Pakistan when the Pakistani Air Force attacked the Indian air bases at Agra and Punjab. So that's how on 16 December 1971 the battle got concluded, and finally the Pakistan got defeated and surrendered with 93,000 soldiers. And this is the highest number of soldiers surrendered after the Second World War. And that's how finally a new country got formed out, that is the Bangladesh. Next question is, in which year was the Battle of Saragadi fought? Options are 1867, 1897, 1854, 1878. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is B. 1897. Solution. The Battle of Saragadi was fought before the Tira campaign on 12th September 1897 between the British East Indian Empire and the Afghan tribesmen. It occurred in the northwest frontier province. The Sikh soldiers fought on behalf of the British Indian Army against the Pashtun Orakazi tribesmen. So basically, if we consider this as a line, so that's how you can understand it. This is the British Empire that was controlling the India and the modern day Pakistan. And there was on the other side, there was the Russian Empire that was also expanding the territory. In mid of this, there was the Afghanistan. The Afghanistan was acting as a buffer zone between the British Empire and the Russian Empire. And in order to hold the Russian Empire for a long, it is necessary that the Britishers must have the control over the Afghanistan. So that's why the Britishers established a various checkposts, and the Saragadi was one of the checkposts where the 21 Sikh soldiers were holding the position when the 10,000 Pashtun Orakzahi tribesmen attacked the Sagargadi. These 21 Sikh soldiers fought bravely and hold the Pashtun tribes for a day. And then the reinforcement came from the other branches of British East Indian Army. And the fort given by the Sikh soldiers failed the campaign of the Pashtun Orkazi tribe in order to capture the Saragadi. Next question is, who among the following leaders was not a founding member of the Hindustan Socialist Republican Army? Options are Ajay Ghosh, Jatin Das, Bhagat Singh, Badruddin Tayyabji. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is D. Badruddin Tayyabji. Solution. Badruddin Tayyabji, 1844 to 1906, was a prominent lawyer, Indian independence movement activist, and politician from British India. Tayyabji was the first Indian to practice as a barrister of the High Court of Bombay and served as the third president of the Indian National Congress. But he had nothing to do with the Hindustan Socialist Republican Army, which is in short also called as HSRA. Next question is, which Governor General was credited with the initiation of the policy of paramountcy? Options are Lord Richardson, Lord Hastings, Lord Clive, Lord Williamson. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is B. Lord Hastings. Solution. Lord Hastings was the first Governor General of India from 1813. Under Lord Hastings, a new policy of paramountcy was introduced in India. Under this policy, the company claimed that its authority was paramount or supreme. Hence, its power was greater than that of the Indian states. For example, if this is the Indian state and this is the ruler of the Indian state called Mr. X. So, the Mr. X may have the control over the internal affairs of his kingdom. But he had to declare the East India Company as a supreme of it. That means any external thing. If the Mr. X wanted to do in his kingdom, he had to obtain a permission from the Britishers. Even if he want to marry his daughter or his son to any other ruler's daughter or son, even then he had to obtain a permission from the East India Company. Next question is, who took arms and led an anti-British movement when the British tried to annex the state of Kittur? Options are Setu Lakshmibai, Rudramadevi, Rani Channamma, Rani Lakshmibai. To give answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is C. Rani Channamana. Solution. Kittur Chennamana on 23rd October 1778 to 2nd February 1829 was an Indian freedom fighter and Rani of the Kittur, a formerly princely state in Karnataka. She was one of the first female rulers to rebel against the British rule, becoming a folk hero in Karnataka and the symbol of the independence movement in India. Next question is, Satara got annexed to the East India Company by applying which policy? Options are Principle of Adjudication, Principle of Paramountcy, Doctrine of Lapse, Doctrine of Land. To answer, 10 seconds are there and time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is C. Doctrine of Lapse. Solution. The Doctrine of Lapse was introduced by Lord Dalhousie. According to this doctrine, if any Indian ruler dies without leaving a male heir, his kingdom would automatically pass over to the Britishers. Satara, Sambalpur, Udaipur, Nagpur, and Jhansi were some states which were annexed by the company under this doctrine. And this doctrine was one of the major political reason behind the revolt of 1857, which is also considered as first independence war against the Britishers. Okay. Next question is, who was the President of India during 1977 to 1982? Options are Zakir Hussain, R. Venkataraman, Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy, Rajendra Prasad. 10 seconds are there to answer. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is C. Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy. Solution. Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy, 1913 to 1st June 1996, was the 6th President of India, serving from 1977 to 1982, beginning a long political career with the Indian National Congress Party in the Indian independence movement. He went on to hold several key offices in independent India as the first Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, a two-time Speaker of the Lok Sabha, and a Union Minister before becoming the youngest ever Indian President. Next question is, the famous book written by the scholar Al-Biruni is, options are Kitabul Hind, Hindustani, Al-Hindustani, Sher-e-Hind. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is A. Kitab ul Hind. Solution. Al-Biruni, 973 to 1048, was a Persian scholar and polymath from the Khwarizm region. He is regarded as one of the greatest scholars of the medieval Islamic era and was well versed in physics, mathematics, astronomy, and natural sciences, and also distinguished himself as a historian and chronologist. He spent a large part of his life in Ghazni, in modern day Afghanistan, capital of Ghaznavid dynasty. In 1017, he traveled to the Indian subcontinent and authored Kitab Tariq al Hind, History of India, after exploring the Hindu faith practices in India. He is given the titles the founder of Indology. It means the founder of the Indian studies. He was an impartial writer on customs and creeds of various nations. Most of the works of Al-Biruni are presented in Arabic. Next question is veteran freedom fighter, social reformer, and feminist Savitri Bai Phule hailed from which of the following states of India? Options are Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Odisha. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. Correct answer is C. Maharashtra. Solution. Savitri Bai Phule was a social reformer, educationalist, and poet from Maharashtra. She was also known as India's first female teacher. She dedicated her life to abolish sati, child marriage, and caste discriminations. She founded a school for girls at Bhidewada, Pune in 1848 and several others. Next question is which year did the Quit India movement start? Options are 1930, 1942, 1932, 1940. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. Correct answer is B. 1942. Solution. The Quit India movement, also known as the August movement, was a movement launched at the Bombay session of the All India Congress Committee by Mahatma Gandhi on 8 August 1942 during World War II, demanding an end to the British rule in India. Who became the Nawab of Bengal after Ali Vardi Khan? Options are Sarfaraz Khan, Sajauddin Muhammad Khan, Sirajuddaulah, Mir Zafar. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is C. Sirajuddaulah. Solution. Siraj succeeded his maternal grandfather Alivardi Khan as the Nawab of Bengal in April 1756 at the age of 23. He was the last independent Nawab of Bengal. He made Nizamat Imambada in Murshidabad, West Bengal in 1740. The end of his reign marked the start of the rule of the East India Company over Bengal and later almost all over the Indian subcontinent. So that was the beginning of the expansion of British rule. Next question is New Delhi's Lotus Temple was designed by an architect from. Options are Iran, Germany, Japan, UAE. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time start now. Time's up. Correct answer is A. Iran. Solution. The Lotus Temple was consecrated and opened to the public in December 1986. It was designed by Iranian architect Faribor Saheba, who won acclaim for the project even before the temple was completed. It subsequently received these several awards. Next question is, when did the Sarkaria Commission submit its report? Options are 1986, 1988, 1984, 1985. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is B. 1988. Solution. The Sarkaria Commission finally submitted its report in the year 1988. The Sarkaria Commission's charter was to examine the relationship and balance of power between state and central governments in the country and suggest changes within the framework of the Constitution of India. In which of the following years was the All India Harijan Sevak Sangh founded? Options are 1928, 1942, 1919, 1932. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is 1932. Solution. Harijan Sevak Sangh is a non-profit organization founded by Mahatma Gandhi in 1932 to eradicate untouchability in India, working for Harijan or Dalit people and upliftment of depressed class of India. It is headquartered at Kingsway Camp in Delhi, with branches in 26 states across India. Next question is, the Raman Magsaysay Award was established in the year. Options are 1962, 1965, 1957, 1982. To answer, 10 seconds are there. Time starts now. Time's up. The correct answer is C. 1957. Solution. The Raman Magsaysay Award was founded in 1957 to preserve former Philippine President Ramsey Magsaysay's example of integrity in governance and idealism in a democratic society. Founded by the Rockefeller Brothers trustees with Philippine government's agreement. With this, we have finished this lecture and thank you.